Trump has a condition for going back to war with Iran. American troops have to die first. Congress just voted to stop him. Israel says it's ready to restart. Iran says its military position is stronger than before the war began. The ceasefire is holding, but everyone involved is already planning for when it doesn't. The fragile ceasefire between the United States and Iran is facing new pressure as President Donald Trump considers renewed military action. Congress moves to curb the conflict, and both Iran and Israel signal readiness for another round of confrontation. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump has privately told aides he would consider ending the ceasefire if Iran kills American troops. The report comes as the US House of Representatives delivered a rare bipartisan rebuke to the administration's war strategy, passing a war powers resolution aimed at halting US military operations against Iran. The measure passed 215 to 208, with 4 Republicans joining Democrats in support. Leading the effort, Representative Gregory Meeks argued that public patience with the conflict is running out. Meeks had a clash with Marco Rubio over the US and Iran war, asking the Secretary of State, did Trump know an Iran war would crush Americans financially?
Did you warn President Trump before the war in Iran began that this conflict would drive up costs on gas, food, travel, and shipping?
Yeah, I'll warn you right now, I don't do yes or no answers.
Yeah,
So
well,
these
I
are
only have
complex
5
questions.
minutes. I know when
Well,
you
so
were
do
the
I.
senator, you know
I
about
never
this
did yes or
business,
no answers
and I
to
know
people.
you're trying to go out so that you can run out my 5 minutes. That's a simple
I'm not
question.
run out your 5 minutes. You're running out your 5 minutes.
Did you-
I don't do yes or no questions. You want to ask me a question, I'll answer
I'm
your
answering.
question.
You answer my question. It's my time. Did you?
Did I what?
Yes or no? Did you warn President Trump
The president
before
was
the
fully
Iran war began that this conflict would drive up costs on gas, food, travel, and shipping?
The president,
Yes or no?
The president and the full administration was aware that there would be consequences to action, but the consequences
Let
of
me
Iran
move
having
on.
a nuclear weapon were worse.
Did you warn him that launching a war in Iran could result in the regime placing a chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz?
All the risk factors were understood, but the most important risk factor
I just
was
want to know if
Iran
you did
cannot
your
have a
job.
nuclear
Did you
weapon.
warn him?
Iran
If
cannot
you
have
didn't
a
warn him,
nuclear
say
weapon.
yes. It's simple.
Everyone was aware of what Iran
Did
might
you
do in
warn him?
retaliation.
I'm asking you a second. Did you
Everyone
warn
was
him?
aware.
Don't
of
want to
what
answer that. Let
Iran
me ask you
would
the
do.
next question.
But the worst part
Did
is that
you
they
warn
can't
the
have a nuclear-
president that launching U.S. strikes against Iran would result in retaliatory attacks on U.S. allies, partners, and Americans living or working in the Middle East?
Everyone
Yes
understood
or
what
no?
Iran would do in response.
Did you warn them?
We were prepared for any response that
You
they
warn?
came out with.
Okay.
We knew it,
Just want to make
but
sure.
they can't have a nuclear
So you
weapon.
said you warned them. Did you warn the president that the personal stock purchases and companies profiting from the war that he launched could present a conflict of interest?
I'm not aware of the president's stock purchases. I don't deal in that, and I don't even know what you're saying is true.
Despite the vote, the resolution faces an uncertain future, with Trump expected to reject any attempt by Congress to limit his commander-in-chief authority. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has suggested that military action against Iran could resume if circumstances demand it.
Iran surely knows what Trump has said, that if necessary, there will be a full-scale return to military action. It's a president's decision. Israel is ready, and the U.S. forces are ready.
Netanyahu also sought to downplay reported disagreements with Washington.
Sometimes we have, as in the best of families, you have these tactical disagreements. We always find a way to work them out, and we do so as great friends.
On the Iranian side, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi insisted Tehran does not seek another war, but remains prepared if conflict returns. At the same time, Araghchi delivered a warning about Iran's military readiness.
We have never sought war. We want peace, but an honorable peace. We are prepared to continue the war, either in terms of military capability, national cohesion, or the determination to confront aggression. Our military position is even stronger than it was before the war.
While emphasizing deterrence, the Iranian foreign minister argued that Washington's understanding of Iran had changed during the conflict.
The Americans in the recent war tangibly understood Iran's real power.
Araghchi also confirmed that communication channels between Tehran and Washington remain open, but said there is currently no formal negotiation process and no significant diplomatic breakthrough has been achieved. The result is a tense strategic picture. Congress is pushing back against continued military involvement. Israel says it remains ready for renewed operations. Iran claims its military position has strengthened. And Trump is weighing conditions under which the ceasefire could collapse. For now, the guns remain largely silent, but the political and military signals from all sides suggest the confrontation is far from resolved. Trump says he expects to meet Iran's supreme leader Mojtaba Khamenei as negotiations continue to end months of conflict between Iran, Israel, and the United States. Speaking to the New York Post, Trump said Washington's relations with Tehran's leadership were improving despite slow-moving talks and continuing tensions across the region. Mojtaba Khamenei has not appeared publicly since the opening stages of the war on February 28th, when US and Israeli strikes reportedly killed members of his family and injured him. Reports suggest the Iranian leader has remained secluded, with negotiations complicated by indirect communications and lengthy exchanges through intermediaries. Despite that, Trump indicated he believes progress is being made.
Mojtaba Khamenei is involved. Absolutely. I think they have a lot of respect for him. They say he is giving approval, because that's the way it has been for a long, long time. His father, and then him, I guess it's a succession. But we seem to be getting along quite well.
The American president also said he would welcome a face-to-face meeting with the Iranian leader, continuing a diplomatic style that has often favored direct engagement with foreign adversaries. Trump's comments mark a notable shift in tone after previous criticism of Khamenei. The president had earlier questioned his suitability to lead Iran and publicly mocked reports about his private life. The White House has not presented evidence supporting those claims, and they remain unverified. The US president has confirmed he wants to meet the man America has been at war with since February.
I'd like to meet him. I'd love to meet everybody. I would like to meet him, and we probably will meet at some point, depending on how it all works out. I haven't had the privilege of meeting him. If you believe the stories, he's missing a lot of different parts.
Trump was briefed by intelligence officials in March that Mojtaba was probably gay, with the president and other aides laughing aloud at the unconfirmed spy agency lead, which suggested he's had a long-term romantic relationship with a childhood tutor. In a podcast interview published on June 3rd, Trump confirmed to the New York Post that he called his closest Middle East ally, Benjamin Netanyahu, a profanity during a phone call earlier in the week, expressing frustration at Israel's continued strikes on Hezbollah in Lebanon.
I was a little bit perturbed at his constant fighting with Lebanon. We've worked very well together. I like Bibi a lot. I'm a wartime president. He's a wartime prime minister.
The outburst was not merely personal. Israel's attacks on Hezbollah have become a direct obstacle to the US-Iran peace process. Tehran has insisted that Israeli strikes on Lebanon must stop before any deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and dismantle Iran's nuclear program can be finalized. Iran briefly called off negotiations following a recent Israeli strike on Beirut. Trump said he was in no rush. The strait, carrying roughly a fifth of global oil and gas shipments, has been largely closed since the war began. Talks are continuing through Pakistani mediators in Doha.